capturing Ojwang's last hours, took time to explain to the court events that occurred after 3 police officers left Central Police Station to take Ojwang to Mbagathi Hospital on June 8, 2025. Timestamps on CCTV showed the police van arrived at Mbagathi Hospital at 1:35 a.m., 10 minutes after departure from Central Police Station, where the late Ojwang was allegedly assaulted. Despite arriving in 10 minutes, the 3 officers who were seated in the front cabin with an unresponsive Ojwang at the back were not in a rush to ensure he gets medical care.
My take was there was no urgency to rush the victim to the attention of the medics.
There is no urgency in that movement to show there is a sick person in the vehicle. That is for the defense counsel. We agree on that.
The officers captured walking around the hospital, talking on phone. At 1:46 a.m., CCTV cameras captured 2 officers pulling a stretcher to the police van left outside unmanned. For another 13 minutes, they made preparations to take Ojwang, who was unresponsive inside the facility.
Now the body has been removed, it has been placed on the stretcher.
Why is saying body? We have no pathologist report at that time.
At 1:59 a.m., 24 minutes after their arrival, Ojwang was taken to the casualty department. At 2:11 a.m., the officers are captured leaving the casualty with the late Ojwang, heading back to the police vehicle after he was reportedly pronounced dead by a medic.
So they were in the casualty room, they're exiting at 2:11, just about 10 minutes. Yes. That is what I wanted you to note.
The 3 officers left Mbagathi Hospital at 2:15 a.m., exactly 40 minutes after they arrived. The late Ojwang's body was later transferred to the city mortuary. Mutua confirmed to the court that the CCTV presented is the exact footage that captured the events at the hospital, and it has not been interfered with. The forensic expert is now expected to be cross-examined on December 14th, with the CCTV footage forming part of the crucial evidence the prosecution side is relying on in the murder trial.
It is a case that we have been following closely. I mean, you all remember back in the year 2025 last year. We even went ahead to join the people on the streets of Nairobi, where Kenyans joined hands together to call for the arrest and the resignation of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG, LANGAT, over the alleged murder of none other than blogger and late teacher Albert Ojwang. Albert Ojwang was murdered within the cells of the Nairobi Central Police Station. And this was after Albert Ojwang was arrested at his home in Homa Bay, in Kasipul, where he was actually brought in Nairobi, where he was murdered and his body was dumped at the city mortuary. Until date, justice has never been served. But from yesterday, we have seen unprecedented revelation of new evidence presented before the High Court. And as the evidence from the CCTV footages that have actually been unveiled, the CCTV footages that previously could not be available because the OCS Samson Talam, the man who has been behind bars for the last 12 months, over the allegedly supervising of the assassination of one Albert Ojwang, ordered the deletion and he ordered the removal and deleting of the CCTV footages from the Nairobi Central Police Station to which actually revealed how Albert Ojwang was killed at the police station that day. Now, the question that a lot of people are asking, currently, a lot of evidence has come to light. And this evidence actually indicates without doubt that there was a clear violation of human right on Albert Ojwang, that Albert Ojwang was murdered, and more so, I want to read a confession by one of those that are being held, an officer from Nairobi police station who is among the suspects that are being held and who is actually before the court today as one of those that killed Albert Ojwang. This guy goes by the name of Officer James Mkwana. James Mkwana's shocking confession today, he said that I received instructions from OCS Talam saying DIG Langat had ordered that we discipline Albert Ojwang. The OCS said we should punish him and leave him with hospitable injuries, but the inmates we gave the job overdid their job. Unasikia mtazamaji? That's a confession from an officer at Nairobi Central Police Station of one of the officers that were actually given the job to punish Albert Ojwang. The punishment that actually led to the killing of Albert Ojwang that day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we look at this, let me ask you this question. Why now is it that the High Court, or let me say the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the ODPP, is actually trying so hard to ensure that this case of Albert Ojwang is actually prosecuted, to ensure that, akina OCS Talam, akina James Mkwana wameweza kufungwa jela? Mbona anang'ang'ana why is the Office of Public Prosecution actually trying so much to ensure that this case is completed? Yet, the main culprit or the main suspect in this murder case, none other than the current Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG Langat, has not in one way or the other been summoned to appear before the court. I want you to listen to this. You know, there is an official video clip that has been making headlines in the country showcasing how Albert Ojwang's body was moved from the cells after he was killed. Now, CCTV footage from Central Police Station shows the final hours of the late Albert Ojwang, as it now emerges that he met his final death inside the cells. With recovered surveillance recordings revealing the events that unfolded at the station before the 31-year-old blogger and activist died in police custody. The footage recovered by Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA), investigators and presented before the High Court, captures the sequence of events from the moment Ojwang arrived at Central Police Station on June 7th to the hours before he was later removed from the facility. The recordings show the blogger arriving at the station in good physical condition, walking unaided and making phone calls before he was escorted into the holding area later that night. IPOA investigator John Motwa told the court the footage captured Ojwang being taken towards the cells at about 10:45 p.m. by people including police officers James Mkwana and former GSU officer John Gige, alongside two unidentified men whose faces were concealed by hooded jackets or caps. The court had that the surveillance recordings showed movements involving several officers inside the station on the night in question, including former Central Police Station Commander Samson Talam, Mkwana, Peter Kimani and other officers who interacted at different points before and after Ojwang's arrival. Mutu told the court that IPOA investigators recovered the deleted footage after establishing that the station's CCTV system had been interfered with following Ojwang's death, with a digital video recorder found without power and the storage devices later showing signs of being changed and formatted. The investigator said the system had stopped recording after the power cables connected to the recorder were disconnected, but forensic experts later recovered about 489 GB of deleted footage from the device. allowing investigators to reconstruct the timeline of events inside the station. The recovered recordings also captured Ojwang being escorted through different sections of the station before he was later taken to the cells, as well as the movements of officers who were present during the period when he was in custody. Additional CCTV footage from Mbagathi Hospital was also recovered, showing the moments when Ojwang was transferred to the facility after being removed from Central Police Station. The evidence was presented during the trial where former Central Police Station Commander Samson Talam, officers James Mkwana and Peter Kimani, former GSU officer John Gige, Jim Ambao and Brian Jue are facing murder charges over his death, with the prosecution alleging that there were attempts to interfere with the evidence after the incident. The hearing continues before the High Court in Kibera. But ladies and gentlemen, with whatever has actually been presented today, and with the current evidence, I dare say one DIG LANGAT should not be in office right now. And this act of trying to protect this man from the prosecution is one that even these courts, I mean, you cannot fry the small fishes while you leave those culprits, the actual murderers out there. You can't. The case of Albert Ojwang was one that read like a playbook. I mean, I have always said there is no perfect murder cover-up. You can never do a perfect murder cover-up. There is, in one way or the other, there is a moment where you will actually make a mistake, and that mistake will lead to your arrest. These confessions, you hear Mkwana saying that OCS aliniambia, DIG amepiga simu, amesema, tupeu jamaa adhabu. Lakini sisi tukapea watu wafungwa wengine kazi ya kumpiga kidogo tu. Lakini wafungwa wale tulipea kazi walipitiliza kipigo na ndio walimpiga mpaka wakamaliza. But remember, when this case broke out last year in June, there was a revelation that at some point, as reported by the Standard and the Star newspaper, that Albert Ojwang, baada ya kufikishwa kituoni Central Police Station, at one point he was removed and taken to Karura Forest where he was tortured before the eyes of one DIG LANGAT. Na pale ndipo aliweza kucollapse for the first time, and that is when they drove him out, wakamrudisha pale kwa kituo. So there is a lot of things that in these cases, this CCTV footage alone should be evidence enough to put the main culprit behind the murder of Albert Ojwang kwa jela. Tazamaji, ningetaka kusikia maoni yako kulingana na hii kesi. Achia maoni kwenye comment section. Tuungane katika video zetu zijazo. Usisahau kusubscribe. Hii ni The Kenyan Daily Report.